Today I'm about to create the craziest dungeon in Genshin Impact Sandbox mode, Miliastra Wonderland. Now let's get started. Let's create a new save. Now I'm gonna be making a dungeon, but the nice thing about Genshin Impact Sandbox mode is you can make literally anything you want. You can make a parkour nightmare, a boss rush, or honestly just whatever you start dreaming about. Alright, now let's start with the first room. Let's go to static units, building structure. We want to start out with a circular stone. And you know what? Let's click this down here, move it to the corner, and this is going to be our spawn point. So this little circle here is going to be our spawn point of the dungeon. Let's add some stone walls. Let's move this on the corner, and then rotate it like this, and we want to make it really big. There we go. Oh yeah, so this is going to be a room 1 of the dungeon. We're going to want to make it a little bigger and cover more room. We want to make sure it covers the whole first level, and that looks like it might be enough. Oh, that's just perfect. Okay, now we have our first wall. Now let's make another wall. There we go. Boom. Now actually, we want to make this one a little bit shorter. Why? Because this is going to be room 1, and then we're going to go all along, and then this is going to be room 2, and then one more stone wall, and then we want to put the stone wall on the edge. And the nice thing about this is that it just snaps right in place. Oh, I probably should have made it bigger before I snapped it in place actually. Now remember, we're going to be making a nice dungeon with a bunch of monsters that leads to harder and harder monsters. And we can play it ourselves once we finish it, which is going to be really fun. Alright, let's find a nice flooring for the dungeon. This stone bridge looks good. We're going to make this the flooring of the dungeon itself. Let's click this wall here, copy with Control C, paste it right over here. Oh yeah, okay. This is going to come along really nice. And you know what? Let's just put a little stone. Let's put a little stone wall just for decoration, maybe like on the side or something. Let's put one here, and let's put another one here. That's gonna look, oh, this is like the entrance. That's gonna look really cool. Just for fun, let's go ahead and test play it. So we want to render it first, and start after saving, and then we go test play, direct upload. Oh, okay, so we need a spawn point actually. Okay, so we want to go to stage settings, go to spawn point, please select point. We want to set the spawn point right here on this slab. Boom. Add spawn point. Dungeon spawn point. Boom. Alright. Now let's go again. We test play. Go to render. Start rendering. Play. Direct upload. Now we should load in. Boom. Start game. And we can actually play our creation. Oh, yeah. But everything looks so big compared to me. I just realized. Oh. Okay, now this one, we need to put a little bit more down. But you know what? This is looking really nice. All right. Abandon challenge. Okay, now let's go back to our editing and we need to move this a little bit more down. Lock it in place. Now, what do we need here? We have our first dungeon hallway room. We need monsters now. Now, where do we go for monsters? Creations. Basic creation. And we have a bunch of these slimes to mess with. So let's say we start off here. We want an electro slime. We will have some guards here. Electro slime. Boom. And these are the defenders. These aren't the only defenders. We're going to add a hydro slime. A large hydro slime actually. And then we have this guy. Let's move this guy back. And let's move this guy back. And this guy back. And then we have to beat the hardest one in the front. Alright. We're done with room 1. Room 1 is looking good. Now, on to room 2. What if we made room 2 a metal platform? Then, let's see, we got to make it bigger. Zoom. Oh, that looks cool. Room 2. Now let's look for some nice walls. Okay, this kind of matches. Now let's copy this wall, paste it, rotate around. Then we have to zoom it in. Then let's copy this wall, paste it, so we can just move it all the way to the edge. And then we have to make another room, which is going to be this. Okay, room 1, room 2, and then room 3 is going to be right here. Now, once we finish room 1, we make it to room 2. Let's change this flooring. I'm not really liking this flooring. Actually, what if we do terrain editing? Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. This might be something nice. Let's make this whole layout brushed. Oh, that is so satisfying. Boom. And actually, now that I think about it, we are going to have to extend this whole area. Yeah, we're definitely going to need some more area for room 4 and 5. Now, this should be enough. Boom. All right. Room 1, room 2, room 3, room 4. One more line. All right. This should be enough. Now, room 2. What is room 2 going to have? Room 2 is going to be filled with a little bit more of a surprise. What we we are actually going to do is they're going to have to enter the room. But in order to enter the room, they must complete a parkour challenge. So we are actually going to delete this section here and make it air. And the player is going to have to jump across a 1 block and then jump across another 1 block, and then they can make it. Okay. Once they make it across the other side, this room is going to have 2 of each slimes. There's going to be the pyro slime. Actually, you know what? We're doing a whole line of the same slime. Pyro slime line, hydro slime line, and a large hydro slime, another large hydro slime. Move them back here. And then a large pyro slime in the back, and another one. And you know what? Just for fun, terrain editing, we're going to go to the brush, and we are going to create random drops. Let's delete this. This is going to make it so the player has a chance to fall off the map. Let's add some nice, oh yeah, just some random holes for some personality. And let's move on to room 3. Now room 3 is going to be a bit harder. I kind of want to use nature for this one. Wait, this actually might be cool because they have a lot, oh my, they have a lot of like vegetation stuff. Okay, hold on, this is kind of cool. Oh, this is really cool. They have a bunch of like nature-y stuff. I could just add like a bunch of, oh, hold on, I have an idea for this one. I can just make a really tall bush. I think for this one, I just came up with this one on the spot. Let's get this out the way. Delete this. Delete the vines. Oh, this is gonna be cool. We're gonna make just a huge bush. Oh yeah. We gotta add some like shrubs on the side. Let's add a bunch of, and then we're gonna move this all the way to the end. And so they will know that this is the end of the room. Let's make a pathway out of these shrubs for them. Okay, so this area is gonna lead to a bunch of traps. So they're gonna have to choose 2 locations. Location number 1. This area is the correct way. This area, however, will lead to a trap. They're going to think it's the finish line, but really what's going to happen is we're going to put a trap at the end of it. So the player will have to make a turn. They're going to go inside, and then they're going to have to turn right. But to the right here, is going to be a trap. Now that we've created the fake pathway, let's see, where is the trap? Gameplay mechanism. Search for trap. Or let's look for spike. Oh, stony. Okay, here it is. Stony spike. So the player will be walking. Make a turn on the spike trap. And then this is going to be the correct way. They're going to go here. Let's put some spike traps for fun. Put a spike trap to the left, to the right, to the left, and then back to the slimes. Okay, we're going to put some harder slimes here. I'm deleting this small one. It's time that this finally gets harder for them. Let's put each elemental slime. This large slime, and then, oh, the large electrical slime. They have to defeat each elemental slime, and then they will finally be free. Off to the finish line. And then they will see the big bush. 2 big bushes. That's how they will know they have made it. On to the next zone. Now, we have quite the variety in our room selection here. Everything is a little different and crazy, which is what is nice about this Miliastra Wonderland sandbox. You can kind of just let your creation go wild. 1, 2, 3. Room number 3. All right, room number 4. Now, room number 4 is going to be a little bit special. How special, you say? We're going to make this a moving parkour place. So in order to do that, we're going to need to go to the terrain editor. All right, we're going to make the whole ground out of this stony texture. Okay, now we have our layout. This is going to be room number 4. Okay, now once player makes it onto room number 4, we are actually going to delete this area. And the way the player has to do this room is they have to jump on this rock, which will be moving very fast speed. And they're going to have to time it very, very well. Okay, but let me show you how we're going to do this. So let's Control S for save. Go back. We're going to need a stone platform object. So let's go here. Stone platform object under gameplay mechanism. And we are in business. There we go. So the way this is going to work is we're going to have this platform. It's going to start at the beginning, obviously, right about here. And this is going to go at very fast speed at the end. Okay, now we're going to need to go in the top right here, add a common component, basic motion device, advanced editing. And we want to add a basic motion. And how do we want to make the basic motion? Motion type, path movement. Loop type, we want it to go round trip back and forth. Initially effective, yes, it's going to move when we start. And then we're going to need to add a waypoint. So the X should move it forward. Relative location, okay, we're going to make this 0 so it goes straight. Now we can see the path of it right here. Relative location, a little more. 30, okay, let's try 40. 40 looks like it's good. And then we can do a preview current motion. Hey, there we go. And then we have a successful moving parkour block, which the player will have to jump onto and make it to the other side. Okay, now end preview, Control S for save. And then what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go back to our brush. Then let's click the stone again. We're going to have to delete some area. We're going to have to delete this area so that we can't just jump. You know what? Let's add some dimension here. I feel like we're kind of missing some dimension. This is looking good. So the player makes it here. Once the player successfully completes this parkour, what are we going to do? We're going to have him walk here, and then this room 4 will actually make it to the boss arena. So the boss arena arena will be right here. So let's go ahead and just make this real quick so I could give you guys a good vision of what I'm looking for. Boom, boom, boom. Actually, you know what? Now, this boss arena needs to be really big. We need to actually expand it outwards. Boom, boom. Create the wall on the edge. And then, I need some personality. So I'm going to leave this like this. Save it. And then let's go back to our parkour area. This is going to be the boss arena. We're going to change this later. This is just for a little template for us. Player's going to jump here. He's going to make it here. We're going to need to go back to gameplay mechanism. Let's make another stone moving platform player. And we're going to do the same exact thing with that platform, but over here instead. And then we want this to move in a straight line. And so because we did X last time, it's actually not X. It's going to be the Z value. So we have to move it, let's see, 30 units. That's not enough. Let's do 34. That should be enough. And then we can do preview current motion. Boom. That's perfect. It's just touching it. Great. And then we do end preview. And then we have to go back to our brush and make sure the player can't cheat. And let's delete this so that they don't jump here. They have to make it. And then once they make it there, the player will need to fight this helicurl right over here. Let's move it so he is staring right at us. And then this big area, you know what? Let's just add some random rocks around to add some nice personality. Let's add some dimension to this. Now this looks like a final boss area. Oh yeah. Okay, let's see what else can we add. Let's add some like random smashed stone. Let's move it. We have it on the side. Another one here. Broken rocks. And then let's add a rock platform. Actually, you know what would be cool? If we created a pathway with the rock leading to the final boss. Oh yeah. We gotta add some decoration on the side. Random rock pillars. Oh yeah, I like that. And then this will lead to the final boss area, which we are gonna fight on a big rock platform. So let's do zoom. We're gonna make this a really huge rock platform. And then we're gonna need to move it again. That's good. And then we go back to basic creation down here. And we are going to fight this frost arm boss. Oh yeah. Let's go back and see what we can put around him to make him look really nice. Ooh, this waterfall looks really nice. Move this down. Now this might not look very natural, but this does look really cool. And what if we just make a zoom on this? Oh yeah. Now that looks nice. Okay, let's save this. All right, now that we've finally finished our dungeon, we need to add a way to actually beat these monsters. So we go over here at the top, combat preset. All right, and then we click the sword right over here, right where all the skills are. We click right here, and then we click preset skills, and then let's just pick the sword combo and confirm create. Now we need to equip the skill. In order to equip sword combo, we have to go back to our player, back to class, then we go on the right side, the second one, and then we add the skill sword combo. And now let's do a test play. Let's go. All right, and we have our sword combo here. Come on, let's see. Got one. Nice, it works. Oh, these elemental slimes are crazy, actually. Okay, now before we continue, we have to make it so that the player can actually win after they make it through the dungeon. All right, now we have to make it so that when we defeat the boss, behind the boss, we can add a success platform. And how do we do that? We go on the third at the top, prefab library, and then we want to go to dynamic units, process object, and then we want to add a functional platform, okay? And then let's go ahead and go at the third tab again in the top right, and let's add a common component. And let's add a button for the player to press to say they won, a tab. And we want to edit the tab. Let's rename it to Dungeon Done. Dungeon has been done. And let's go ahead and change the icon. Let's see. Check mark for complete. Great. And then what we can also do is we can make the area where the player is won bigger. So let's make it a sphere. And then we could make it, let's say 2. Let's make it like 1.5. 1.5. And then we close out of this. And then what we have to do next is add a node graph. Now we will have to go out of Genshin into their Miliastra sandbox node graph. And we go over entity node graph. And then we right click create node graph. And then we can rename it, let's say Dungeon Done. All right. And then we right click and a node library comes up. All right. So earlier we made a tab. So we need to search when the tab is selected. So when we click the Dungeon Done, so we have to attach it to what? A success. Set player settlement success. So when we select the tab, tab, there's a success. And then we make it a victory. And then we drag the set player settlement to one other thing called a settle stage. Boom. And then we also have to take the selector entity onto the player. So which player is the one winning? Get player entity to which the character belongs. Boom. And the affiliated player entity is player entity. Boom. So we're setting the success to the affiliated player entity. And just like that, we should be all set. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this. Back to our Miliastra Wonderland. And back to our node graph here. We add node graph and now we can see dungeon done. And then that's it. We just save it. And let's name it dungeon done again. Then we go back to our terrain editing. Sorry, we go back to our entity placement, second tab, and then objects, uncategorized tab. And we can see our dungeon done. Now we're gonna go ahead, place it right behind the boss, and perfect. So in order to win, we have to defeat the boss. And just to make sure it works, what we can do is we can actually drag it towards the beginning, move, and then let's go ahead and test play. Go to render, start rendering, and then we can test play it. Now let's go ahead and see if this works. Boom! Victory! Level complete. It works. That we have ourselves a custom-made dungeon with 4 levels. And we can play it and you can upload it online for other people to play as well. Oh, yeah. I mean, just look at how cool these slimes are. Speaking of how cool these slimes are, let's talk about what Genshin Impact is. Genshin Impact is an open-world role-playing game which is available on so many different platforms. You can start today for free on the continent of Teyvat, where there are 7 different elemental powers. They recently made a huge update for Teyvat characters, which makes them playable on certain stages. In Miliastra Wonderland, you can create your own stage like I am. They added this new feature, which you can actually gain revenue from, called the Colorful Surprise Box. Travelers can support craftspeople if they redeem these boxes. There's also going to be a celebration of the Lantern Rite in the Miliastra Wonderland, and alongside that are new Lantern Rite stages and free cosmetics that you can get now. Free outfits like Witty Gallop and Lucky are given right in your mail. You don't want to miss this celebration, so download Genshin Impact now and try out the Miliastra Wonderland. Make sure you use the redemption code in the description for massive rewards. Some stages you should keep an eye out for are the Lantern Rite Kitchen Battle, Teyvat Spring Festival Celebration, the Sellout It's New Year, Teyvat Trickery, and Hunt the Tomb Raider. So let's go ahead and test it for ourselves. Test play, direct upload, let's go. Start game. And here we go. Level 1. Come on. Come at me. Oh! You guys jump up and smash down on me. Oh, this great sword is insane. Come on, buddy. You don't have anything on me. Oh, one more. Alright, we're through level 1. So far, not too bad. Oh, this is where it gets hard. Okay, I have to let my energy go up. I have to let my energy go up for sure. Alright. Okay, so far so good. So far, climb up. Okay, now this one is a little bit harder. Okay, these ones in the front are one shot. Let's get rid of the ones that are one shot first, so we can deal with the big ones. Okay. Ooh, those ones are also one shot. Okay. Yo, this one isn't too bad, actually. We might need to make this a little harder. Oh, he blows... Those fire ones blow up when you defeat them. Okay. Oh, he's about to jump up on me. Hey, buddy. Maybe I should fight them one at a time, actually. If I can. These ones are a lot tankier. Oh, no! You know what? I can take them all at once. Come here. What is this? What? I put this down? I don't remember putting this down. What is this thing? I don't know what this is. Come on, buddy. Oh, only 2 more. Oh! What is this one doing? Okay, zone complete. I think this guy froze me. Level 2 complete. Come on, let's go. On to the final zone. Okay. Oh, this is actually... I'm actually scared for this one. This one's gonna be hard. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually really scared for this. Oh! Come on! Oh! Okay. No! I missed! I missed! Alright, we're gonna have to retry the challenge. I made it! I made it! Okay, come here, buddy. Oh, this sword is insane. What is this guy doing? Hey there, buddy. It's time for the final boss. Hey, buddy. Hey, I'm right here, buddy. Oh! This guy is crazy. Oh! This guy's only level 1? Oh. Oh my. Almost there. Oh! Wow, wait, that boss is actually so cool. Alright, now come on, level complete. It should work. Hey, we won! Victory! Nice! Now that we've finished our Miliastra Wonderland stage creation, we can actually upload it. Press escape. In the top left, there's a little cloud. Upload stage. Save. Stage update submitted. Please wait for review. Submit now. And then you can do open draft. And then let's go ahead and pick an image. Upload image. And then we're just gonna pick my face. That's great. And then submit for review. Boom! Open draft. And then you click post. Confirm. And boom, that's it! You don't want to miss this celebration. Download Genshin Impact now and try out Miliastra Wonderland. And again, make sure you use the code in the description for massive rewards.